Hi, this is Kristen here, and welcome to another process video. Today I'm working on day 26 of 30 Days of Sketches with Christy's Beautiful Life, and I am working with Pretty Little Studio's Gingersnap collection. I actually just had an unboxing of this a couple days ago, so I'll include that link down below. And so this frame paper that you see me fussy cutting out was part of one of the pattern papers from that line. The red paper in the background was actually a Mente, and I think that line was called Autumn Splendor. I'll look it up and link it down below if it's something that you can still get your hands on. But I had tried to use some different pattern papers from Pretty Little Studio, and I just felt like the orange plaid kept getting lost. That orange plaid paper was part of the Gingersnap line, but it was like not their pattern paper. It was like a separate, pack of paper. So it was all different colors of plaid. Now the sketch calls for hexagons, and I had actually done a few layouts with hexagons, so I kind of want to do something a little different. So I decided to use these frames instead as kind of in place of the hexagons. So you just see me fussy cutting those out and kind of placing them kind of randomly around the page, kind of how the hexagons were kind of in the original sketch. I'm going to kind of go with a monochromatic kind of look here. So the Gingersnap line had a lot of the maroon accents, and then of course orange. So I'm actually going to lean pretty heavy into that. Initially I thought I was going to do some big floral clusters like with the frames, but I just felt like, for me, I just felt like doing a little bit more simple with this layout. And I want to get some orange worked up there just to kind of make the two colors kind of, I mean, they work together fine, but just to kind of like continue the orange up there just so that it looks, continuous look. And you'll see me pulling out some floral pieces. To pop that banner piece up off the page, I do pull out a orange, it's kind of an orange bordered label. I decide Hello Pumpkin will be my title. And I'm trying to work in this little owl because my son's, there's like a story behind. So his like animal is an owl. And I think I probably talked about that in another video. So I was trying to work in an owl on this. So you can kind of see where it's starting to kind of turn monochromatic. I mean, I do have like a little bit, I will have a little bit of, I think some white florals and things in there. So it's not completely orange and maroon, but I'm just going through the ephemera here, trying to decide what I want to use. I find this little banner piece, and I decide I'm going to put that down there because it does have maroon in it. And I decide, like, I like those florals, but I find some leaves in my ephemera, and I decide I want to work some leaves on there instead. Still going through the ephemera. I have quite a bit of ephemera, so it takes me a little bit of time to kind of go through it. I love that maroon leaf with the orange leaf. I feel like that ties in both colors perfectly. And I find a little circle with the owl in it and thought it looked good there. Now the Hello Pumpkin I thought was getting a little bit lost on the black frame. So since it's black and white. And so I pop a little maroon flower behind it. And you're just going to see me keep pulling in different leaves, flowers. little heart piece there. There's so much ephemera in the, at least that I purchased with this, that sometimes I have a hard time deciding what to use because it's all so pretty. So I pull in those white flowers. So again, most of it's going to be heavily maroon and orange, but I decided to just go with like some simple pieces on the frames. And the sketch, I think, really only called for like a big kind of cluster at the bottom, kind of where the owl is. I find this little kind of label piece here to go underneath. I'm sorry, I feel like a lot of this is me like, looking at ephemera, so you don't really see me going through it that much. I end up tucking these leaves off to the right hand side. I found a little hexagon to kind of as a nod to the original sketch. So I put that up in the left upper corner there. And then I'm trying to figure out what to use down on this right hand side. Initially, I think I had pulled in like some kind of floral piece and then just felt like it was too big for that frame because it's kind of a little bit of a smaller frame. I like that piece up there, but I end up doing something different because by the time I get everything taped down, like it doesn't really work up there. So again, I don't have anything glued down at this point. Everything's, I think maybe the only thing I have, I don't even think I have the plaid glued down yet or adhered down yet. Now this little sticker, I think, says thankful for you. So that was part of like a sticker set that you could purchase. And I'll include the links down below to the Gingersnap line and to this Minté line if you can still buy it. Okay, so yeah, I didn't have anything adhered down yet. So I'm going to start getting things adhered down. Of course, I have my T-square ruler out, although what's helpful with this is the fact that, there's lines already on here. So I wasn't like super concerned of, not getting it lined up because regardless, I would kind of follow the lines of the maroon plaid to kind of be my guide. I was trying to decide if I wanted to mount my photographs on anything, and I really didn't. I mean, I guess I could have, but I really didn't think like it added that much to it. So I just decided to keep it as is. And again, sometimes it's like I just really don't want to mount it. Laziness. So I'm just trying to get everything kind of re-situated to see where I wanted everything before I start getting the pictures glued down, just to make sure I give myself enough room on either side. So that's what I think is kind of funny, is like I spend all this time to like get the ephemera down, move it off, start getting everything adhered down, put the pictures back on, move everything back, glue it down, finally start to glue stuff down. It's like several steps, which it's like I always kind of was perplexed by why it took me so long to do layouts, because I guess when I'm messing around with stuff like this, I really don't feel like it's that long. But then like I'll watch some of the stuff that I've filmed and it's like an hour long and I'm like, well, okay, it didn't feel like it was that long. But now looking at these videos, I can tell why, because I kind of do things like 2 and 3 times. And so now I'm finally getting everything glued down. I think I've already got the right hand cluster glued down the bottom right. And so I'm just using my glue gun with the Nouveau Deluxe glue. I kind of go between that and Barely Art glue. Usually I use the Nuvo Deluxe for like little small, because it's more of a finer with the glue gun. It's a finer little bit of glue that you get out there. So I usually will use that for like my finer gluing, and then use my Barely Art because it's the little tiny like small tip nozzle on that one always got clogged up, and so I just use the regular nozzle on it. So usually I'll use that for bigger pieces to glue down. And that glue gun was, I mean, it was kind of a little pricier. It was around, I think, like almost $40, but I'm telling you what, it's worth every bit of money that I paid for it, because it actually has yet to clog up on me. So whereas the Barely Art, like the fine tip, I could clean it out, run the little needle that they include in it. I mean, clean it out as soon as I use it. Like as soon as I would glue anything down, I would like run hot water through it and like run the needle through it, and it still would get clogged up. So I started getting kind of frustrated with that. I used to use a Xyron tape, like make a sticker. I think that's what it was called, and that's what I would use for like little small pieces. But A, that is expensive, and B, I found that it was leaving like some adhesive residue, like, you know, to where it would like kind of gum up. So here lately I've been wanting to just use glue on my smaller pieces. So and I end up having to pop this little banner piece up just a little bit, just because of where the orange plaid was hanging over the red. It just needed to be popped up just a little bit. So and I think that piece looks okay there, but I don't know what about it that I just wasn't, I don't know, I wasn't liking. So I end up going through my ephemera. I find this leaf and decide I like it a little bit better there. I think the other one would have been fine though. But, you know, at the time, like when you're looking at it, I feel like visually always do what, you know, what at the time you feel makes sense to your eye in person. Because then a lot of time I find too, like things don't translate over sometimes on video. Like there's times where I look at the video, I'm like, oh, I wish I would have just stuck with that. But then I look at it in person, I'm like, I'm glad I didn't stick with that. So I feel like sometimes, you know, what you see in person is a little bit different than what you see on camera. And that's just a little orange heart there that I'm adhering down. Again, to kind of carry that theme through. I don't end up adding anything up by that top frame, kind of where the Hello Pumpkin is. And I actually think, I've already taken shots of this, but now looking at it, I kind of feel like I want to stick a little something up above that, the picture there, kind of between that top frame where the title is and the picture. So some kind of like a floral piece, but I might end up not, I don't know. Which I'm kind of surprised I went with such simple embellishments here, but sometimes I'm just in the mood for that. And I really wanted the frames to be like obvious on this, so I didn't want to cover them up too much, because that's kind of the point of the sketch, was to kind of have some of the attention on the hexagons. So I wanted to keep the attention on the frames while doing a little bit of, you know, embellishing. And here are some close-up shots. And I appreciate you coming by to watch another process video. I really would appreciate if you like or subscribe. I'm trying to build up my YouTube channel. I do not get paid. I'm not endorsed. This is just a channel that I work on in my free time.